Ukrainian President Volodymyr Zelenskyy arrived in the UK Saturday ahead of a major summit in London, hosted by UK Prime Minister Keir Starmer. More than a dozen European and EU leaders, including Zelenski, will gather Sunday for a meeting meant to drive forward action on Ukraine and security. According to Associated Press, European leaders pledged late Friday to stand by Ukraine in the wake of the contentious Oval Office meeting between US President Donald Trump, Vice President J.D. Vance and Ukrainian President Volodymyr Zelensky, with their statements in support of their neighbor on the continent ensuring a deepening transatlantic rift. During the extraordinary meeting Friday in Washington, Trump chided Zelenski after Vance, one of the administration's most skeptical voices on Ukraine, said he was being disrespectful for debating Trump in the Oval Office in front of the American media. Trump then called off the signing of a minerals deal that he said would have moved Ukraine closer to ending its war with Russia. Zelensky left the White House shortly after Trump shouted at him, showing open disdain. The White House said the Ukrainian delegation was told to leave. Ukrainian President Volodymyr Zelensky leaves the White House without a deal for U.S. access to that country's rare earth minerals. According to Associated Press, President Donald Trump cut short talks with Zelensky after shouting at him in the Oval Office. Trump berated Zelensky for being disrespectful. The pair had planned to sign an agreement and hold a joint press conference. But Zelensky was instead preparing to leave the White House. The last 10 minutes of the nearly 45-minute engagement turned into a tense back and forth between Trump, U.S. Vice President Vance and Zelensky, who had urged skepticism about Russia's commitment to diplomacy, citing Moscow's years of broken commitments on the global stage. It began with Vance telling Zelensky, "Mr. President, with respect. I think it's disrespectful for you to come to the Oval Office to try to litigate this in front of the American media." Zelensky tried to object, prompting Trump to eventually raise his voice and say, "You're gambling with the lives of millions of people. You're gambling with World War III, and what you're doing is very disrespectful to the country, this country that's backed you far more than a lot of people say they should have," Trump said. It was an astonishing display of open antagonism in the Oval Office, a setting better known for somber diplomacy. Trump laid bare his efforts to coerce Zelensky to reach an agreement giving the U.S. an interest in his country's valuable minerals and to push him toward a diplomatic resolution to the war on the American leader's terms.
Андрій Борисович, чи підписали угоду? Пане Єрмак, чи підписали угоду? Так чи ні?
Vi ser den ukrainska delegationen här lämna med flera ministrar.
Пані Стефанішина, чи підписали угоду?
Ja, ni måste... Okay. Okay. Is the camera? Med de här bilderna och en Zelenski som vinkade till pressen och var i telefon när han lämnade Vita huset, så avslutas det här besöket abrupt efter bara några timmar utan.
The controversial Oval Office meeting between U.S. President Donald Trump and Ukrainian President Volodymyr Zelensky on Friday has triggered strong reaction from Western leaders and politicians. Following the tense meeting in which Trump shouted at Zelenskiy, accused him of disrespecting the U.S., Democratic Senator Adam Schiff wrote on X, "A hero and a coward are meeting in the Oval Office today. And when the meeting is over, the hero will return home to Ukraine." Polish Prime Minister Tusk voiced support for the Ukrainian leader, saying, "Dear Zelensky, dear Ukrainian friends, you are not alone," Tusk wrote on X social media platform. French President Macron reminded that Russia is an invader and Ukraine is a victim. Spain also voiced support for Zelensky. "Ukraine, Spain is with you," wrote Spanish Prime Minister Pedro Sanchez in his X account. Maya Sandu, the president of Moldova and Ukraine's neighbor and strong supporter in the war with Russia, said while commenting on Trump-Zelensky meeting that, "The truth is simple. Russia attacked Ukraine. Russia is the aggressor. Ukraine is defending its and our freedom. We are with Ukraine." Former EU Foreign Policy Chief Josep Borrell was among those expressing his shock at Trump's handling of the meeting with Zelensky. Trump and Vance put on a disgraceful show. "I am ashamed of your behavior. The United States deserves better." He stressed that the free world must support Ukraine. "I am looking forward to the meeting between Trump and Putin, where they will respond to the Russian dictator," former U.S. Ambassador to Russia Michael McFaul said while commenting on the Oval meeting. "The scenes from the White House are shocking. How can you stab in the back the president of the occupied president of a country? Free Europe will not betray Ukraine," German politician, deputy leader of the CDU party Johann Wadefuhl wrote on X.